We're aboard HMS Medusa. I'm Alan Watson. I'm her skipper, which is a huge privilege. The ship herself was built in 1943, built in Poole, very close by where we are now. She's one of 464 that were built and is now the last one that's in as-built condition and fully seaworthy and operational. There's about 20 hulls left around the world, but the majority of those are houseboats and static. You have to know what you're looking at to see them. She's got a pretty remarkable history. 1943 she was built in Poole. She went up to Scotland for the crew training and workup, and then down and she served at Slapton Sands for the D-Day rehearsal, then to Portland, and she was the first vessel across to Omaha Beach on D-Day. And her role was to go across D-1 and mark the edge of a minefield which was off the beaches. She had to be there the evening before D-Day, and minesweepers homed on this vessel, cut through a narrow channel which was then used by the invasion fleet to go into Omaha Beach, and she had to remain within yards of the same spot at the entrance to this channel. If she had drifted off her station, the entire invasion force would have gone into the minefield, and really history would have been different. So pretty remarkable role. From there she went on and shuttled back and forth quite a few times post D-Day. She was damaged at one point and came back to Portsmouth in near sinking condition, but she's a lucky ship. She seems to survive every time. And she went on and spent some time up in Scotland, and then in the closing days of the war, around about 5th of May 1945, she was ordered across from Chatham to the Dutch port of Emuiden, and the instruction was to go and see what the state of the port was. And as the Germans were pulling back, they were destroying ports, but we desperately needed an operational port in that area. Anyway, Medusa steamed over there, steamed into the port, found it still to be in reasonable condition, but also still in German hands. And it could have gone one of two ways, but the German garrison took the sensible option and surrendered to this vessel. So in the closing days of the war, she took the surrender of some 5,000 soldiers of the garrison. Post-war, she became a survey vessel and did a lot of the surveys of the south coast. And then in 1968, the Royal Navy sold her for scrap. And that could have been the end of the story. But a little group of enthusiasts in Portland bought her, looked after her, did their very best for her. But come the turn of the millennium, year 2000, we realised we'd got a decision to make, that to keep her at sea we needed to do major work on her, or the other alternative was to put her in a shed forever. And everybody said keep her at sea. So that's what we did. We did a 5-year restoration project on here with some funding from the Heritage Lottery. We ran it as an apprentice training project, so 15 apprentices graduated at the end of it. And that got us the ship back, and she's now in perfect condition, really as good as she was built. She's to be seen up and down the south coast quite regularly. We go across the channel normally to either the Channel Islands or the D-Day commemoration each year, and come to Buckler'S hard for a long weekend in the autumn. And these days she's used for taking cadets to sea, taking veterans to sea, going to events like this for public access, a little bit of filming. If you saw the film Dunkirk a few years ago, then Medusa starred in that with Harry Styles aboard. So we do quite a lot, but our main mission as a trust is to keep this boat in good condition, keep her operational, to be passed on. It's all done by volunteers. We're all nutcases. If we weren't, she wouldn't be here.